before I take your life, I'm going to tear that other eye out of your face.
Since its release, Hazbin Hotel has become a massive hit, creating an enormous fanbase eager to see what the second season has in store. One of the main appeals of the animated series is the numerous characters introduced in the first season and how each of their stories coexist. Every character has a purpose when they appear on screen, regardless of whether they originate from heaven or hell. Hazbin Hotel provides a narrative where the antagonists are as compelling as Charlie and her friends, allowing the audience to anticipate what they will do next. According to a recent interview with the cast and creators, the story for Lute, the Exorcist angel, has only begun. In today's video, we'll cover the parts of Lute's story that foreshadow her having a more critical role in the future.
Do it then. Correct your mistake.
Seriously, you're pathetic, you know that?
Number 1. Adam's Lieutenant. When Lute makes her initial debut in Overture, she's the perfect image of a loyal lieutenant. She stands beside him during his meeting with Charlie, praises his jokes, and shows great pride in heaven and how it stands above the rest of the known world. Like Adam, she believes in heaven's righteousness and condemns the possibility of sinners finding salvation through the Hazbin Hotel. However, her behavior is far from what someone might expect an angel to act, which is the first indicator that something may be wrong in heaven. As an exorcist, Lute takes pride and finds enjoyment during Extermination Day. She doesn't think twice when it comes to killing sinners, regardless of what they've done to end up in hell. In Welcome to Heaven, she appears cutthroat and ruthless, which likely earned her the role of Adam's second-in-command. Like Vaggie, she was likely one of the best exorcists. Unfortunately, being the best in their group means she's the most violent and efficient in battle, leaving countless human souls to be snuffed out by her hand. The available information suggests Adam created the Exorcists solely as heaven's military force. Their sole purpose is to protect their home and enact war on other realms. They were made to fight, which may explain why each seems eager to attack hell at a moment's notice. Lute is no exception, and the first season establishing her as the best exorcist may later play into how she could become the worst angel, representing everything wrong that heaven has turned into.
Sir, what was the Seraphim's one rule?
Number 2. The Exorcist's Commander. Adam behaves as a primary antagonist throughout the first season. His role makes complete sense narratively as he has personal ties to the Morningstar family and Hell's creation. Witnessing his crude, unkind, and ruthless behavior in heaven makes the line between good and bad incredibly blurred, as many of the main characters from Hell come off as more sympathetic, reasonable, and kind-hearted than the angel who represents heaven throughout most of the season. However, Adam seems like the puppet pulled on by other characters. He looks terrible enough, but then it's revealed that he takes direct orders from Sarah, the current ruler of heaven. In her company, he becomes nothing more than a soldier following orders, which makes Sarah seem like a more significant threat in comparison. In a way, Lute's connection to Adam creates the same illusion about her capability and threat level. When series create new antagonists, they ensure the last is one-up so the audience stays engaged. Lute seemed terrible before, but in the aftermath of Adam's death, she can only become worse. As the new commander of the Exorcists, Lute has more control and sway with Sarah than ever before. She's strategic, battle-ready, and has an army of angels prepared to follow her every whim. The first season went out of its way to show how Lute and Adam's personalities varied. While Adam found humor in everything and used his title as the first human-made angel to validate his actions, Lute was more cautious and considerate of their actions. Therefore, every move she makes in the future will likely be deliberate and carefully planned.
If you have actual evidence, then show it already.
We have a patron right now who is making incredible progress.
Number 3. Lilith Connection. Adam's connections to the Morningstar family made him a compelling adversary for the first season. From the moment Charlie recognizes him and forms an opinion based on her knowledge of Eden, to how Lucifer chastises him when they clash on the battlefield, every interaction the main cast has with Adam feels personal, like his very existence serves to contradict Charlie and everything she's trying to achieve. The final moments of the show must go on enforce this idea, as he knows that the missing Lilith is in heaven, having a long-standing deal with Charlie's mother. Lute and Lilith don't elaborate on the deal she had with Adam, aside from its termination due to his death. However, many believe Lilith struck a deal with Adam to ensure safe passage into heaven, where she lived during her 7-year absence. As the Exorcist's new commander, Lute offers to honor Adam's deal, renewing it under her name. However, she requires that Lilith do something to stop Charlie and the Hazbin Hotel. While Lilith doesn't seem pleased that Charlie has attracted the attention of the angels, she may return to Hell to stop the hotel or convince Charlie to give up on her dream. Unfortunately, Charlie will be unaware of her mother's true intentions, but the audience will know that Lilith answers to Lute and that the angel will pull her strings from afar. Lute may even use Lilith as a spy on the inside, learning integral information about Charlie and the hotel.
Your brat is threatening the very foundation of heaven. And if you want to stay here, you're going down there and stopping that.
Number 4. Formed grudges. Throughout the first season, Lute forms substantial rivalries and creates grudges with other characters. In Welcome to Heaven, she criticizes Vaggie for her past and threatens to blackmail her in favor of cooperation. In the flashback sequence explaining why Vaggie left the Exorcists, Lute is the one responsible for taking her wings and leaving her in hell when she refused to kill a sinner on Extermination Day. The Exorcists seem to take disobedience seriously and won't tolerate their fellow angels deviating from the plan. 3 years later, Lute and Adam still ridicule and criticize Vaggie for her failure to act. After Vaggie refuses to help them during the council trial, Lute and Adam are out for blood. They reward anyone who will bring them Vaggie, but Lute goes for her former colleague herself, and the pair find themselves in a vicious battle inside the hotel. While each woman ends up wounded, Lute receives the most intense injury when Vaggie traps her underneath some collapsed ceiling, and she must rip off her arm to escape. Missing a limb and bleeding heavily, Lute isn't quick enough to save Adam from Lucifer and Nifty, the latter who delivered his killing blow. Lute and Adam were close friends, and Lute seemed incredibly loyal to his cause. She was distressed when he died and took his halo as a keepsake and proof of his death. Losing her friend, receiving a grievous injury, and being defeated in battle are all fantastic motivators for someone who wants to take down their enemies. Lute will likely feel influenced by these past events and will do everything in her power to confront the Morningstars, Vaggie, and Nifty again, which puts her at the center of the central conflict in the second season.
Your Highness, forgive me, but what are the Hellspawn doing here?
Number 5. Cast Interview. Fortunately, the cast and crew of Hazbin Hotel aren't shy about sharing details about the second season. In a recent interview, including Erica Henningsen, Stephanie Beatriz, and other actors in the cast, Jessica Vosk shed some light on Lute's character and role in the future. Vosk explains that the first season acted as a small setup for Lute's character, likely exploring her relationships, personality, and personal motivations to help establish her role in the upcoming season. Vosk also teases that Lute is only one of the angels influencing the ongoing conflict between heaven and hell. It's plausible that the audience has already met the other influential angels in the conflict. Sarah and Emily are already at odds about heaven's treatment of human souls, specifically sinners. As the High Seraphim, they're a ruling body in heaven and will decide essential things, like the possibility of going to war against hell. Serpentius is also an angel and will likely remain loyal to Charlie and the hotel despite his ascension. There's also the possibility that new and influential angels will debut in the second season. Most notably, Lute still needs to choose her lieutenant in the Exorcists now that she's their commander.
Destroy that!
Prepare to slaughter every sinner in that hotel!
As a returning character from the first season, Lute received the building blocks to become a sympathetic, engaging, and dangerous antagonist for future episodes. She has the means to launch an attack on the Hazbin Hotel at any moment, the support of the High Seraphim, and personal connections to the Morningstars. More importantly, she has a motive to unleash heavenly wrath on her enemies, enacting vengeance for the loss of her closest friend and the severe wounds she received in the last battle. Lute is undoubtedly an angel scorned, and when she returns in the next season, it will likely be to destroy Charlie's hotel once and for all.
Their love is vile and blasphemous.
Hot though.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Whether or not a soul in hell can be redeemed into the heavenly realm by means of this Hazbin Hotel.